Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with war number 6 of season 45, and Matrix has matched up against C.Av, C.Av. We faced them last season, and they actually cleared our entire defense with 1 death total. So we know that if we want to have a chance to win this war, we have to play very well. And I'm going to be with the team of Stealthy, Scorpion, and CGR today. CGR has 3 fights, and Stealthy has 6 for a total of 9 this war. Stealthy was banned last war. I have him back this war, and I actually can confirm I also have him back next war because that started a couple hours ago at the time I'm recording this. And he is not banned. So we have on path 1, section 1, the first node, we have this IDoom. And unfortunately, my light ending combo gets him to an SP1, and he throws that SP1 into my block. And because it's unblockable, I have to activate Dex, unless I want to get hit by it. Which honestly probably would have been the smarter move there, not to activate Dex, but whatever. It's fine because the first SP2 is going to get us to a second SP2, and that second SP2 is just going to kill. So it was still like a less than a 35-second fight. So it's still fine. But each CGR fight has its own small hiccup. Wouldn't call it a mistake. I think that's the right hiccup is the right word in each fight. But this is the fight I was by far the most scared of this war. I was terrified to take this fight. This is Longshot on a node where he is fully unblockable the whole fight. And luckily, I did double path 1, and after I took that fight, I tagged the guy to come put a white mags pre-fight on. He did, which was awesome. But the strat in this fight, get up your slow, keep pausing it by dashing back. And luckily, because of the white mags pre-fight, I am able to parry sometimes, although like in situations like that, I did not, clearly. But yeah, I just need to get to an SP1 now to get my precision up, and I should be in a pretty good place, and I believe right here is where I activated it. And right there, if I chose to end the combo with a medium, I could have pushed him to an SP2, but I was able to just parry here and push to SP2, and I much preferred to push to SP2 because Stealthy's first medium is a double medium. There's a longer recovery time, and you cannot consistently, at least, dex the second hit of the SP1 if you dash in after dexing the first one. It's kind of weird. It works with other champions, but because of the double medium, it's sketchy, to say the least. It's not safe to do with Stealth Spidey. But yeah, Longshot does go down, and I actually ended with full health. So now, after that fight's over, I can kind of chill. But something else is going to happen. Not in either of these 2 fights. In one of my mini fights, that threw me off a little bit for sure. But we have this fight here. Hazard Shift, Shock, Bleed, Antman, and we have CGR for this fight. The nice thing is that I had all of last season's Battlegrounds to practice fighting future Antman with these nodes, with Shock and Bleed, Hazard Shift, literally exact nodes. And I've done this matchup already with CGR. So that was really nice. Also, the glancing does not prevent you from activating your judgment effects, such as the light attack power gain, as we saw there. Right here, I could have gone for another SP2, gotten another precision and cruelty up. However, I chose to bait that SP2 just for safety. I'm not too worried about the fight time in this fight. I just want to make sure that I get it down. Throw our second SP2 here, which gets us quite a bit of power back. And we're actually going to just combo right here into our SP3 and kill him with it. Now, what I could have done and what I probably should have done is comboed that into a striker, and that striker would have killed, and that probably would have saved like 3 or 4 seconds on fight time, because the fight time... Oh, no, wait. That KO happened at the end of the special 3. Probably that would have saved 10 seconds on fight time. But I didn't notice, because in that moment I wasn't thinking about, oh, my opening is going to give, or my power is going to get me to a striker. No, I was just thinking, I want this fight down. So that's what I did. The next fight here is Hazard Shift. This has one I open. It's only a rank 4. Not that it would even make a difference if this was a rank 5, because it's such a low health pool defender. But the unfortunate thing about using Stealthy here is that he is a glass cannon, which means 2 things. Absurd damage output, but also really low health. And those 2 things add up really, really badly when it comes to damage reflection nodes, because you take more damage than other champs would, and you deal more damage, and therefore you take more damage because you have lower health. And then also at one point in that fight, he threw a heavy attack so fast, I just didn't react in time and I got hit. And of course, the one time I got hit, he had to crit me. But that's fine. And I'm going to pause. Sorry. I'm going to pause right here as soon as I get to this spot here. So when I got my assignments, I am obviously taking this Sasquatch because I've taken this fight a dozen times in the last season and a half. But I was supposed to have a white mags pre-fight. And my officer that was assigning the fights accidentally assigned the same guy, CJ Logan, as you can see at the bottom there. He accidentally assigned the same guy to put a white mags pre-fight on Sasquatch and to fight that void on 39. So now obviously he can't do both of those things. So my officer said, well, we can either reassign it or to someone else, Sasquatch to someone else, or we can you can wait for us to fix the assignment, so we'll get someone else to put White Magneto there. And I said, I'm already full boosted. I've taken that fight once in off season without White Magneto. Can I do it? And my officer said, if you feel confident, go for it. So we're going to go for it. Now, this fight is inherently wildly different without a White Magneto pre-fight, because the way that I am pausing my slow in this fight with the White Magneto pre-fight is through the parry stun, because my parry stun becomes long enough with White Magneto that I can parry, dash back, and then safely go in for a combo, and the stun is not long enough to do that with an active stun. So I'm going to need to find other ways to organically dash back constantly while not taking too much block damage, because this guy is the block penetration stat focus on, and B, pushing him to SP2s constantly. So I decided to change up my strategy towards this fight. And off the start of the fight right here, I would have normally thrown that SP1 right away, but I decided that without the White Magneto pre-fight, it's a higher priority for me to push to SP2. So that is what I did. And I guess there was just a slight delay between my first and second light attacks, and that got me parried. In the moment, it didn't feel like there was a delay. But now that I'm looking back, I can kind of understand it. It does look like there's a tiny little bit of delay. And Sasquatch is actually going to be really nice for us right here. And he is going to activate his Wrath of Tanarok at 10. Last war, he activated it at 12, which was not fun because it was a longer period of time where I had to take more block damage, and B, the Wrath of Tanarok was longer, which is just not that great. But here we are actually able to kill him in this combo. So despite not having the White Magneto pre-fight for 15% damage and an easier way, and the White Magneto pre-fight giving us easier access, or access to an easier way to do the fight is probably the best way to put it, it was still only about 5 seconds slower than that fight usually takes. So that is great. Now a not so great fight. Not really my fault, but Ma is going to throw 0 special attacks. Not one. Not a single special attack. He throws 0 in this fight. And I try. I try to bait his special. I really do. I really do. But he just says no. He is not going to throw special in this fight, and he never does. I get rooted once. I'm doing the parry dex, so I only lose one of my charges. We're going to try again before we push him to SP2, and he just says no. I don't even have my block up. I decide to get rid of the route with the root with an SP1 here, and now he's at an SP2. And I'm going to get rooted again because he just kept dashing back there, unfortunately. And here I was trying to dash back, but I couldn't get out of his blocks fast enough, and I did actually get hit by that unblockable hit after the 12th hit into block. And at this point, I've kind of accepted that he's never going to throw a special attack, so my goal here is to kill him before he reaches SP3. And Power Focus 2 is actually going to help quite a bit with that. And here we're able to chain a combo into a striker, into another combo, and take him down. So we do manage to kill him without ever baiting a special attack. But oh my god, Ma was doing absolutely everything he could do to try to kill me there. That was just terrible AI the whole fight. But anyways, now we are on to Adam Warlock. This is the main reason I have CGR, because of course there are paths I could have been sent on where I could have taken my first 4 fights all with Stealthy, but we changed that because when I told my officer a couple options for my paths, or like not options for my paths, but what I scout the map and then I tell my officer, hey, just a couple ideas for me, and then I give him like 2 or 3 ideas for possible paths for me with different champions, and this was one of them. Although in this war specifically, I believe he actually messaged me first, saying I have 2 options for you, one with Hulkling, one with CGR, and I said either of those are fine, whatever works best for your planning, basically. And this is what he assigned me. So this fight here with Adam Warlock, this is the fight I died to at the beginning of last season with Tigra, because don't use Tigra here. It doesn't work as well as you think it does. It's possible, but it doesn't work as well as you think it does. And unfortunately, because of my complete noobness, me being a noob with CGR, noobness is not a word, but I don't care. I use an SP1 boost here, and that's fine. You can use an SP1 boost with CGR, but you have to do your combos differently. And because I didn't do my combos differently, got pushed to an SP3. Now, luckily, that was fine because the SP2 after the SP3 killed even through the pod. But it could have been a little bad if he had survived. I could have been in a little bit of trouble. But this fight here, this is a 7-star rank 2 duped Mysterio. I'm very jealous, by the way. I want to dupe mine so bad. And then take mine to rank 2. This is 49. I've taken this fight a bunch. I've taken this fight already twice this season. This is the 3rd time this season. It's a very easy fight. And right here, that was the last intercept I needed him to go for, but here he does go for heavy, so I combo into a striker, into a combo, he's dead. And we are on to our last fight of the war, which is the boss, of course, and it's going to be another Rintrah boss. Now, I don't remember if this one's ascended or not, so let's see as we go into the fight here. And he is not. Okay, I don't remember if the one I took in War 4 was ascended or not. I think it was War 4. Yeah, it was War 4. I don't remember if it was ascended, but I also took one in War 4. And that time I healed up to full. This time I know better than that because I'm going to be healing this whole fight from the ruptures I get inflicted with. And here I actually throw my SP1 before I get my Fury up, and I do that for one reason. I still have the SP1 boost on, and I was kind of worried that I would get pushed to SP2 with that combo right there. And had I not landed the intercept and had to parry, I actually would have been pushed to an SP2. So that was a good thing that I was just being careful and did it that way. Because I didn't really expect my SP1 boost to last for all 3 fights, but I guess both of the first 2 fights were like 45 seconds, so it makes sense. But this is a really, really straightforward fight. You basically just have to continuously bait SP2. This fight will take roughly 2.5 minutes just because he has massive resistance to damage. But also, I should note that this guy definitely has 5 out of 5 Mystic Dispersion, because you will notice that on occasion when my dex expires and I don't have my withers up, he gains quite a lot of power, like a lot, and that does happen. So that doesn't really matter that much. I only really prefer to bait SP1 in this fight because I can easily counter it. And while I usually try to dex and counter the SP2 in Battlegrounds, it's not something I want to do here, because if I get hit by it and it crits, it will kill me from full health. So I would prefer to just bait SP1 and not have to worry about it. So that's what I do. And yeah, we're just infinitely pausing the slow. I did go for a second SP2 in this fight. That wasn't to get my slow back up. It was just for spacing, to knock him back further against his wall. And also, defenders are more likely to throw special attacks immediately after they've been knocked down. So I was also doing it to increase the chance that he threw the special attack. But at this point, the fight is almost over. And normally what I do in a fight with Stealthy is I save my striker for a killing combo. So I do a combo into a striker into another combo to kill. But right here, when I'm going to try that, look, that first combo, the first 4 hits didn't crit. The second combo, I got 4 crits. Really bad crit luck in the last little bit there. So I actually didn't kill, and here my combos leave him at 1%. So I have to bait out one more SP1. Little bit of a long fight. That was probably about 20 seconds longer than the first time I took it. But that's completely fine. I also didn't max boost in this war. I used my medium boosts. But unfortunately, we lost again by 1 death. We lost 9-10. We just cannot catch a break this season. We faced C.Av last season, and they cleared us with 1 death total. They beat us like 1-8 or something like that. They just had a war, clearly not as good of a war as they did last time. But yeah, we lose again. And we're down to 1-5 record. And after the loss in this war, we actually went down to tier 2, which means that we would have to win all 6 remaining wars in order for us to make Masters. 5-1 is not going to make it there. It's just not. So we have to win all 6 wars. We have to go hard, and we have to end 7-5 if we want a chance at Masters, unfortunately. But for me personally this season, I have yet to die. I have 0 deaths, and my PSR is at 50 out of 50, or 100%, and my Deathless streak is up to 51 fights. And yeah, it's kind of cool that I'm at exactly 50 halfway through the season, because I'm on pace for exactly 100 fights, which is just, I don't know, really cool. I mean, I've had seasons with more fights than that. I had an 110 fight season once. I went 109 for 110. That is my greatest season ever. That season just is, I remember it so well. It was such an incredible season where I went, no, sorry, it was not 109 for 110. It was 110 for 111. Yeah, that's what it was. Because I remember 110 solos and 1 death in that season. But that's back when I was planning wars, so I could pretty much guarantee that I got the maximum amount of fights. And when I don't die, that kind of makes sense to assign myself those fights. But I'm getting off topic here. That's going to be all for today. Thank you guys for watching the video. And I can spoil that for War 7, Stealthy's not banned. In fact, I might have already said that at the beginning of the war. I don't remember. I don't know if I already said that. But anyways, hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you all later. Bye.